Hey there, pioneers! Here's my video on some mega useful building tips in Satisfactory, useful for everyone from beginners to veterans. So let's get started, shall we? Firstly, one setting I highly recommend you change from the moment you get in-game, changing color of the build hologram to white or gray to be able to see the inputs and outputs better. The default color makes it a little hard to distinguish the front from the back of structures like smelters and storage containers. Now it's much better. Always use the middle mouse button by default to copy a structure you're pointing at to start building more of that. This is way faster than going into the build menu or fiddling with your hotbars. Note that this copies the building but not the recipes set in them. So if you're copying a smelter to place more, it won't copy the setting. See the next point for that. To copy settings from a building, just point to the building and use Ctrl-C. Point to the building of your choice and Ctrl-V to paste settings. All of this without even pressing E to open the interfaces. Yes, easy as. Note that this also allows you to overclock and use the power shards from your inventory automatically. Now that's magic. This also works for signs, allowing you to copy one sign to replace another. Connect a cable to an existing power pole to automatically place additional poles without having to build poles first and then connect. For this, just select the cable to build, click on a power pole of your choice and click where you want to extend that cable to. The game automatically builds another pole of the same type you selected initially. You can keep extending to build more this way. You can build an additional power pole on an existing line by selecting the pole to build first, clicking on an existing cable line and holding and dragging to location of your choice. This creates the pole you selected with connections going to both the ends of the segment you selected. This also works for wall outlets. Note that if you remove the pole, you'll have to reconnect manually, so mind that. Did you know that stackable conveyor poles can also be zooped? Yes, this is great for exploration early on to gain some height or just for decorations around your base. Speaking of exploration, this is one tip I forgot to mention in my last video on basic tips in Satisfactory. Check it out when you have time, okay? While collecting hard drives in the wild, build a MAM when you get a hard drive, start researching it and delete the MAM. Your research will happen in the background as you explore and you will be notified when the research is complete. At that point, plop down a MAM and repeat. Neat, eh? If you're in the early game and are using stairs, then it's a little wonky, but just do this. Go near the edge and jump while aiming at the location of the new stair piece and double click. Done. Also, you might have realized the hole in the middle. Well, now you can fill up the hole with big metal pillar or big concrete pillar that you can get from Architecture tab of the awesome shop. You'll need a total of 4 coupons for the pillars and the stairs. Enjoy! You can build splitters and mergers on conveyor belts directly. Makes making manifolds very easy. Also, use Ctrl to snap in front of machines like the smelter. Removing the splitters and mergers placed in this manner reverse things to the way they were before you place them. Perfect. You can attach conveyor lifts directly to splitters and mergers, but not the other way around, as you can see here. Useful if you're feeding your manufacturers or building an additional level of smelters above your existing level. Also, splitters and mergers can be snapped along the lifts sometimes if there's nothing else in the vicinity, weirdly. Use pipeline junctions to allow snapping water extractors in free place mode. Have the extractor output face the pipeline junction to achieve this. You can also snap new extractors to existing ones. Now you can neatly arrange the extractors and the pipelines coming from them. Speaking of pipes, liquids need pressure or head lift to go up along the pipes. And this is indicated when placing a pump with a little ring-like shape along the length of the pipe. These little rings indicate where you're supposed to place the pump for optimal and efficient results. When building a structure, point to the intended location of the structure and press H to lock its hologram in place, so that now you can move the mouse and move around to see the structure better. Here, you can press the arrow keys to nudge. Note that this has a limit but can be extended by using a mod. Note, half increment nudge by holding Ctrl with arrow keys. This nudge feature allows you to find that just perfect spot for your machine. Train rails transfer power, so connect separate factories together using train lines and stations to transfer power across the large map. If you already have train lines set up between two outposts, having cables running between them is redundant now. Unless you just love ziplining, in which case have fun! Use a 3x3 foundation setup for the shortest 90-degree train track bend, like you see here. Remember to create the bend first and then connect straight. If you remove the bend and try to connect, the game bugs out and won't let you place the bend. Hopefully it'll get fixed later. You can achieve 90-degree pipes by changing build mode by pressing R to horizontal to vertical and then building. This works for pipes as well as hypertubes. Regarding pipes and hypertubes, there are several build modes accessible using R. Here are some examples for pipes and hypertubes in the various modes. So here's auto. This is auto 2D. You notice that this one has a bit less curves. It actually goes straight, right? The other one, the first one, you notice it was curved at the ends. This one doesn't have the curves at the end. This is noodle. You can see it looks like a noodle. And finally we have horizontal to vertical, which tries to keep your pipe or hypertube straight, horizontal until it goes vertical. And notice that if you're connecting from the higher point to the lower point, then in that case you will go horizontal first and then vertical down. So there's a bit difference there. If you've seen some of the more impressive bases built with sexy 90-degree bends of conveyor belts and wanted to achieve the same, then rejoice! You can now do the same by aligning a belt to the destination and going back 2 notches and building, like so. Then build the rest. Alternatively, you can basically use the 2x2 rule. Just place your conveyor belt supports next to each other in a 2x2 formation as shown here and connect. Sweet! When building a pipeline or hypertube segment, first rotate 45 degrees with the mouse wheel, click to place the thing, then rotate with mouse wheel the angle of the pipeline or hypertube up or down, or raise or lower the level by moving the mouse up and down, then click a second time and now at the destination, rotate 45 degrees with the mouse wheel, click a third time and now adjust the angle or height like before, and finally click a fourth time to confirm building. For conveyor belts, first use mouse wheel to rotate by 45 degrees, click to place, raise or lower by moving mouse up and down, click a second time and rotate again at destination, click a third time, move up or down to adjust the height, and finally click the fourth time to confirm. You can delete the conveyor support between chunks of conveyor belts, no problem. Useful if you're running low on concrete and rods and are away from your main base. Or if you're tearing down your old base and have a lot of conveyor poles sticking out everywhere, use the mod no conveyor poles to remove them and refund as well. Now, I know I said 20 tips, but I just have to do this. Here are some bonus tips for those who are a bit more advanced or maybe into decorating their bases. You can utilize the catwalk crossing unlocked from the architecture tab of the awesome shop for 5 coupons to create simple curves for your foundations, like so. So we start by taking the catwalk crossing and placing it down. So now at the edge, what we do is we use control and mouse wheel to rotate this thing. So you can see it rotates by small angles, right? So you rotate a little bit, extend it one tile, rotate again, extend one more tile, rotate once more, extend one. Oh no, that was a mistake. Let me just do that again. Extend one tile and rotate. You get the idea, right? Basically extend 2 tiles every time. Every time you rotate, you extend 2 tiles. That's because this is half the width of a foundation. The regular foundation is 4 meters, this is 2 meters. So now you align it perfectly to that setup. Let's see, there you go. Yeah, we changed the material, so now you align it to that. So yeah, so you see you can do this and you can keep doing this to get a nice curvy shape. Yeah, and that's it. That's how you get curves in the game, and you can delete the catwalk crossings later on. So there you go. Now you have yourself a nice curve. Voila. You can place walls against barriers, which are unlocked from the architecture tab of the awesome shop again for 1 coupon. You can snap foundations to barriers as well. This allows you to get creative with building walls and foundations. It seems there's a term given to a section between your walls called cavity walls that can be used to transfer power to create cleaner looking setups. Barriers can be used to create such cavity walls. Alternatively, you may also use nudge feature to make the same. Beams are versatile for building as they allow snapping, so you can come up with weird and wacky shapes and designs, and not be bound to using just boring box designs as they are called. And that's it for this video. There are some more tips I have for you that are going to be in another video I'm working on. For now, check out my previous video on general gameplay tips if you are interested in learning some. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Like, comment and subscribe if I deserve it.